the Anunnaki, the ancient gods, and when will they return? Before we continue, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. I upload content in Spanish and English with subtitles in many languages about the occult, forbidden history, magic, comic book and fictional characters, and secret societies. Now let's begin, shall we? In order to go in deep into this exercise, we need to be aware that most of the stories, if not all of the stories from the Old Testament, are based on older tales from ancient civilizations. The Jewish stories of Noah, the flood, and the origin of mankind can be traced back, as they were influenced by the other cultures, which they borrowed from them when they started to develop a story for their own people. Therefore, we need to go back to understand who were these so-called gods of the ancient tales. To do that, we need to go to an old land, and that land is Sumer. Sumer is the earliest known civilization in the historical region of southern Mesopotamia, now southern Iraq. The most important archaeological discoveries in Sumer are a large number of clay tablets written in cuneiform script. Sumerians' writings is considered to be a great milestone in the development of humanity's ability to not only create historical records, but also in creating pieces of literature, both in the form of poetic epics and stories, as well as prayers and laws. Living along the valleys of the Tigris and Euphrates, Sumerian farmers grew an abundance of grains and other crops. The earliest texts come from the cities of Uruk and date between 3500 and 3000 BC. We owe the Sumerians many things in the fields of medicines, art, law, mathematics, transportation, and even entertainment. Believe it or not, the game of checkers was first seen in Sumer and was played by the people around 2500 BC. The list is infinite. But then how do we explain a civilization suddenly showing up with all these achievements all of a sudden? Well, there's an explanation, and precisely, the clay tablets provide that answer. The explanation has more to do with our origins on Earth and are considered the source material for ancient sacred texts currently held as the foundations of our current religion. The accounts offer a version of history that some prefer to hide, but since this channel we try to explore precisely the occult, I will do my best to provide a version of what they recorded. The Anunnaki, which according to the Sumerians means those who came down from the heavens, are said to be creators of modern-day humans. This theory, as crazy that may sound, could explain why so many researchers believe that humans coming from apes does not make any sense, especially since they keep looking for that missing link that could confirm that theory. According to the translations of author and researcher Zecharia Sitchin, the initial exploratory mission on Earth expanded into a full-fledged mission where the so-called Anunnaki established operating centers on Earth, the Moon, and even Mars. Eventually, the Anunnaki were short of manpower, so they employed genetic engineering to fashion primitive workers, aka Homo sapiens. Firstly, let's understand who the Anunnaki were. The Anunnaki are described as tall white aliens, white skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes in some depictions. They came to Earth looking for gold, monoatomic gold, which was the only natural form of metal that has a state where 100% energy is equal to 100% energy out. They needed the metal to protect the atmosphere of their planet called NIBIRU. When they came here, they worked for several years retrieving the precious material in Africa, where precisely archaeologists have found thousands of ancient gold mines discovered over the past 500 years, which points to a vanished civilization that lived and dug for gold in this part of the world for thousands of years. They found a human-like creature with physical traits to dig, but weren't smart enough to follow orders. So the Anunnaki, running out of resources to work due to the unsettlement of many Anunnaki tired of doing the hard work, noted that by altering the genes of the creatures, they were able to take orders and dig, and therefore help them in the hard manual labor. This is why humans have an abnormal gene in their DNA. This gene we have seems to be completely out of the blue. It provides us humans with intellect. Genesis 1:26. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea." Numerous scholars and theologians have begun to recognize that the biblical tales of creation of Adam and Eve, the Garden of Eden, the Deluge, and the Tower of Babel are in fact product of ancient texts written down millennia before in ancient Mesopotamia by the ancient Sumerians. So were these gods-like figures perfect? Well, they were far from perfect, and indeed, just like in modern and old tales, conflict took place. There were wars, and it got really ugly. The main fights took place between two groups, each descendants and supporters of Enki and Enlil, half-brothers, sons of Anu. Enki, lord of the air and earth, guardian of the tables of destinies, and Enki, lord of the earth and water, known as Ea. Enlil's role in Sumerian mythology can be summed up with reference to humanity in one word: oppressor. Enki, Enlil's half-brother, role can be summed up as humanity creator and champion. This might be shocking to some, especially when we notice that Enki was associated with the serpent, and that the tales of Genesis regarding this animal when Adam and Eve were thrown out from the Garden of Eden is a version of an ancient Sumerian tale which depicts what happened on a different way, showing Enki or the serpent on a different light, different from what we were told. There is so much information that it will be impossible to share all of this on this video. I'll be adding in the description section some links with further information if you want to learn more. But were the Anunnaki immortals? For humans, they indeed seem to be, as their longevity compared to ours was longer, and this had an explanation according to the tablets and investigators. You see, their planet NIBIRU also is located in our solar system, but its orbit takes 3,600 years, Earth years, to complete its turn around the Sun. Therefore, the Anunnaki live longer, since the equivalent of a year for us, for them, is 3,600 years. And this also takes us to the next topic, their return. When will this gathering take place? This is a very sensitive topic, since this basically is based on when will the Anunnaki planet NIBIRU will get close to the Earth again, when its orbit completes its turn around the Sun and near our planet. Using the records from Sumerian tablets and the information we have on regards to the orbit of NIBIRU, Zecharia, Sitchin, among other investigators, believe that they might have an idea. What is also worth mentioning is that in the book of Daniel, the angels tell Daniel when will the end of the days and return of God or Judgment Day will be. But instead they tell him that it will be after half time, a time, and 2 times, which obviously left Daniel clueless. Sir Isaac Newton on the 17th century was devoted on this topic, and study the celestial orbits, and particularly the Book of Daniel, and work on resolving the puzzle regarding the information Daniel received. When a document found handwritten by Sir Isaac Newton, he was convinced that he was able to figure out, finally, the date based on the Book of Daniel, using the zodiac and the prophecy given, which goes in line with Sitchin interpretation based on NIBIRU's orbit, resulting on the year 2060, when NIBIRU will be close enough and the Annunaki will gather back to Earth and visit us again. Will they arrive in peace, or instead will want to regain what they believe belongs to them? How will the Earth atmosphere react as this planet gets closer? Those, my friends, are the questions we need to ask ourselves when the immortal gods will return and the gathering takes place for the prize. And maybe, at the end, there will be only one race. I hope you like this video, my friends. I want to thank you for your supporting my content. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. There are many other videos I uploaded on my channel. And I wish you all the best. Please take care, be safe, and remember, love is the law. 93. Bye-bye.